Hey everybody, it's Banner Terrell. I'm back again to do another video for you. Today we're going to be doing something in Substance Painter. We're going to be learning how to apply a logo or any other kind of image, like you want to put a stamp on an object so that it looks like you've put text or some image on top of the actual materials that are there, and that you intended to do it, not like you threw it on in Photoshop or just like threw it together. We're going to show you the proper way to do it so that it looks like it's part of the 3D model. And so we're going to do that with a logo today. So first step is, let's talk about a logo. So I made one for you just to have something to start with. So let's jump over to Photoshop. So let me get out of that mode, go to full screen. Here we go. So I made this logo today for you called Hyperion. That's the name of our brand. And it's a monochrome logo. You could do it if you had whatever color you want, or multiple colors, or whatever image you want. But we're going to do this with a transparent background because I don't want the white on my object. I want to see the wood through it. So I just want everything here that's white is going to be transparent. So I'm just going to knock out this background. So now I have it red against a transparent background. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to export that. So we'll export this in PNG, and then we'll upload that into Second Life. So I have it set to be F3 is to export. So I'm going to export it to this pictures folder, and there it is. I just already did it, but I'll do it again. Save as, yes. Okay, so there it is. And then the other thing we're going to need is we're going to need an alpha, which is a black and white image that tells Substance Painter which parts of the image to make transparent. So we want this to be transparent, and we want the red part to not be transparent. And in an alpha, the parts that are not transparent are white, and the parts that are transparent are black. So we basically just have to add a couple things to this image. So we're going to go ahead and turn this back on, but instead of white, I need it to be black. So we're going to do Edit, Fill, Black. Okay. And then for this layer, we're going to select all the content in it. Hello. Helps if you have the right keys selected. Actually, what I can do is select that, and then do select inverse. And that should be everything else. Yep, it is. And then we'll go Edit, Fill with white. And click out of there. Okay, so oops, I didn't have everything selected, so let's go back. Let's undo that. I also need, okay, so let's select this black, this black, this black, this black, this black, this black. Select inverse. Edit, fill with white. Now I got everything. All right. So again, this could be your logo. You could have started with a white logo on a black background, but we're going to export that, and we're going to call it Hyperion Logo Alpha. Okay. Now we'll go into Substance Painter, and here we are in Substance Painter with my image already loaded in. And then I'm going to go import those two images that we just created into my library. Okay, so I told it to import it and add resources. So I'm going to add both of these. And then it's going to ask me what they are and where to put them. And so you have to tell it, so this one is the alpha, so you tell it it's an alpha. And then this one, that the logo is a texture, so you tell it it's a texture. And then I want to keep them just for this session because I don't really need them because I'm not ever going to do it again. So I just save it to the current session, and then if I do a new, it'll go away because this is fake and I'm never going to play with it again. If I was keeping it for my own business or something, I would save it in library your assets instead, but we're going to do it in the current session. All right, so there it is. Now, I already have this wood applied, and this model has two materials. It has one for the trim, which is that part, And then it has one for the faces, which is this part. Okay. And so selecting the layer for the material texture set for the faces gives me this one. And if I look down here in my layer list, you can see I have this wood applied, which is this gun stock. Okay. And if I want to then put that logo on there, I need to add a layer on top of that. So I already have done that, but I'm going to, let's see if I can delete that. Okay. So to do that, you come up to here and you just do add layer. That gives you this new layer. And then if you look down in here, you can see all the things that would go into the PBR materials for this layer, which is the base color, the height, the roughness, all that stuff is down here. And right now it's just set to this gray color, but this is where I want to put my logo. So I'm going to grab the colored version of the logo, and I'm going to drop it on this base color so that it becomes the base color image that I'm going to paint on. And then if I scroll up, you should find the alpha somewhere. There's alpha, and then we're going to take the alpha and we're going to drag it in there. All right. And then if you think, is it in here? Yeah, it's in here under brush size. This is going to be the size of the brush on the side of our object. Try to get this as about as square to the front as I can. So I'm going to put it right here. You can see it's an outline. It looks like that. If I adjust the size of this, it goes way down. Now, if I were to click and drag, I would use this as a brush and I would be painting this on. But I don't want to do that. But I just want to click it one time and it'll stamp it on once. But that's too small. That's for like a little badge or something. But I'll increase this back up. Get it to be about as big as we want it. So if I go this big, it's going to be too big. It's going to be touching the edges. So let's drop it down just a little bit. Actually, that might not be true because there's no data out to that. I was going by the outside circle. Well, the Hyperion is out there. So the Hyperion is fine. It'll overlap. But circle, there's nothing really in that circle in my logo. It's just a placeholder. So I think it should be fine here. So I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm just going to left click and stamp it. Boom. And there it is. And see, it actually follows the contours of the wood. It actually looks like it's painted on the side of the box, right? If I want to put another one on another side, I can come around here, look at the back side of this, do the same thing, just kind of eyeball it, and bang, there it is. If I want it on the top, I can come up here, and bang, there it is. And if we want it on the sides, we can do the same thing. Just come over to the side, move this up where come on. And then put it where it looks like it's pretty close to the center, and bang. And then go around to the other side, do the same thing. About right there, and hit one-time click. Okay, so there it is. We now have our logo with the stamp on it, and that's how easy it is. It's so super simple. And now I just need to export these textures. And so I'm going to do that. And so since I want to do both PBR and Blend Fong, I need to export twice. So first time, just hit F3. I have the keys mapped to F3. By default, it's like File, Export Textures. All right, so I'll go there, and then I pick the GLTF PBR Metallic Roughness output, and I want both of these. I already have the trim done, so I don't need the trim. So we'll just do the faces, which is this side. Hit export. That's going to create the PBR materials. Second one, I'm going to do it again. F3 or File, Export Textures, and I'm going to select my Second Life output, which doesn't come out of the box. You have to create it. And export it. And that's going to create the diffuse, the normal, the specular, and an AO. Okay, now we go back to Second Life, and I'm going to import those. So let's do that. All right, so go to Build, Upload, Material, and I saved this as New Product Crate, so that's the one I want. Hit Open, And here comes the material. That's what it looks like. I'm going to hit OK. Opaque is right. And hit save. It's going to bring that into my inventory. It uploads the 4 different individual textures. And then it creates the material, puts it in my inventory, which takes forever to open. And there it is. And just drag it on. Boom. So that is the PBR version of it. Now to get the blend fong in there, we have to upload that too. So go build, upload, bulk, and it's going to be called Create Faces Diffuse Normal Specular. So you get all 3 of those and upload them. And then when it finishes uploading, you edit this, select face, pick the face for the sides of this thing, go to texture, blend fong, and then you would put all 3, diffuse, normal, and specular. Now I can't really see it because because it has PBR on it, right? So if you want to see what it looks like, you have to get rid of the PBR right now. So we can go over here and put none. And that's what it looks like this is what the whole thing looks like with blend fong, which looks pretty good anyway, right? I mean, it looks pretty darn good, right? But then let's go put our PBR material back on it. And now it looks even more natural and shinier and cool. But there's your logo. Hyperion logo is right there. All right, that was it. So to reiterate, you have to have an image. And in this case, I'm using an image with a transparent background because I just want the logo and I don't want the background of my logo to be there. So then I also create the image, and then I create an alpha of the image, which is a black and white image where white is the part that you want to see and black is the part that you want to be transparent. You go into Substance Painter, you set everything up, and you get it ready to go, and then you do add layer. You drag your logo into the base color, and you drag your alpha into alpha. You set your brush size to be where you want it, line it up, and left click to stamp it where you want it. That was it. That's all you got to do. And there you go. Very, very powerful and very, very cool. Now, if I had to do that in Photoshop, I would have to take that material into Photoshop, figure out the orientation of where things are and what's centered on what, and then do trial and error. And I have to put that logo on there 6 different times, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times, and scale everything. It's just a nightmare, right? You don't have to deal with that. Just do it like this in Substance Painter, stamp that logo on, and you are done. All right, that's it. That concludes this video. We'll talk to you guys next time. So again, this is Bander Tyrell. Please like and subscribe. If you would, I would appreciate it. It would help me get more views. And tell everybody about these videos and share the word so more people will come and we can learn together. See ya.